So the Record of Grancrest War is an anime about a war between two countries, but then the children of the leaders of these two countries fall in love with each other and decide to get married, and that was going to put an end to the war. But during the wedding of the leaders' children, someone summons Satan and ends up killing both of the leaders. And then the whole wedding gets called off, and the war resumes, and it's up to both countries to decide who their new leaders are going to be. Meanwhile, the mage that said that, hey, I feel like someone's about to murder both of you to the leaders during the wedding, that everyone just completely ignored until it was too late, is on her way to work for a perverted nobleman when she stumbles upon a guy who tries to protect her from bandits on the road, and she's like, fuck it, I ain't got anything better to do, I'm gonna make you emperor. And that's basically the plot of Record of Grancrest War. It was based off of a novel, and it really shows, because although Grancrest has a lot of issues as a series, I think a lot of them, and I'm just guessing because I haven't read the actual novels, but I'm thinking most of them can probably be just chopped up to a failure in adaptation, because a novel can spend so much more time fleshing out the characters and explaining its setting and getting into the, political depths and the military tactics, all of which are the problems that Grancrest had, that an anime cannot do, or at least it can, but not on the 24 episodes that this anime had. So it ends up feeling rushed and poorly explained and kind of messy. The main through line throughout the entire series appears to be the themes of love, and with its themes of love, it manages to have some pretty well done scenes of characters who are in love with each other. But because of some of the issues I mentioned, the main characters' romantic interests in each other are honestly not very interesting. And I think part of that also has to do with the fact that the main male protagonist is simply not an interesting character at all. He is the most bog standard cardboard cutout of a protagonist you have ever fucking seen. And the female protagonist, the mage, she's a significantly more interesting character, but the problem with her is that she doesn't have any goals, and by the episode 3, she just stops making real decisions for herself and constantly defers to the male protagonist for everything. So, together, they have, one half of what would make an interesting main character, but individually, it just leaves both of them kind of stale. And the fact that she starts deferring to him past episode 3 for everything, it becomes another issue, because at first, she's basically manipulating him from behind the scenes, installing him as a puppet leader, and then controlling the war from her own seat, but then, someone calls her out on it, and she's like, I guess I'll just let him do everything now. So I feel like the series would have been a lot more interesting if she was just fucking controlling him throughout the entire series, and he more organically learned to take control and, show some backbone in his position. But no, that doesn't happen. Anyway, Grancrest was okay, but I feel like it was really held back by its adaptation. Although I don't know, maybe the novel was terrible. I never fucking read it. Then I watched We Rent Tsukumogami. We Rent Tsukumogami is, believe it or not really about renting Tsukumogami. It is about a couple who owns, not in a relationship couple, just two people, who own a rental shop in the Edo period. Apparently that was a popular thing. I learned that from this show. And they happen to own Tsukumogami. And they use that to occasionally solve mysteries, but occasionally bring people together. This one also used romance as a through line. But the overall plot was that the main girl was in love with a rich, handsome dude, but unfortunately, he had already received the dowry from another woman who his mom wanted him to marry. And so the main character basically had to get up enough money to show that she would be a competent wife. Complications ensue, and basically the main character needs to acquire a very specific incense burner in order for them to get back together. I'm not going to get into the spoilers. Despite the fact that the Tsukumogami are so blatantly, obviously, like, just mascot characters, they never actually get annoying like mascot characters. And at the end of the day, I could actually say that We Rent Tsukumogami is like a show with a lot of heart, and I definitely see what it was going for. I wasn't terribly into it, but yeah, I can't really launch any complaints at it. I don't really like the main male protagonist, but fuck it, who gives a shit? When do I ever? But yeah, so that's what I watched this week. I've been Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope. Bye-bye!